For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, please check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/Games4all. And you can like us on Facebook, just search for Games4all podcast. Games4all is brought to you by iPage. For more affordable and greener web hosting, check out ipage.com. Hello and welcome to the Games4all podcast, episode 47. I'm your host Dan Young, and with me as always is my good friend
James Craigie. I'm required by law not to do any puns this week, not only for your sake, but for the sake of my eternal soul.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah,
after last week's.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
awful.
I mean, don't even remind me. We were just going to kind of, just kind of forget it ever happened. I think it's probably the best way to do it.
I spent like 2 days in the corner weeping. It was.
So did everybody else that listened.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what have you been playing this week?
Pretty
much the same as me, I think.
Yeah. Tying in with our video podcast, which is out, we've been playing Mortal Kombat, Portal 2, and Gears of War 3 beta.
Well, first of all, let's start off with, because obviously last week on the show we mentioned that there were some VIP codes going to be given out for Gears of War 3.
And you totally
took advantage.
Twitter.
I think I might break Twitter at one point. Yeah, we got on there. Let's just say. I'll be honest, I'm a big Gears fan. It's one of my most anticipated games.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Oh, you're right. You keep saying it every time. But I'm just saying, right? I've mentioned it on the show before, obviously. And, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it is my cup of tea, right? And I'm the fact when they announced that there was going to be a beta, we covered it on the show, and I exclaimed how excited I was for that. And how
much you hoped that you didn't have to buy Bulletstorm to get on it.
Yeah. See, I don't want to rub it in, but I got to play it before those people. We got to play it before those people, should I say. So yeah, we got our hands on the code Friday night, and I played about half an hour of it Friday night. We did a live stream, which was very, very unrehearsed, very quick to throw together kind of thing.
I think it worked out pretty well.
It worked out, right? Yeah, we did an hour's worth of gameplay. We didn't do very well at it, but
as to be expected. We're playing against
VIPs and stuff.
Yeah, the devs and their
true
family.
hardcore. Yeah, exactly. So check that video out. That's on our website, www.games4allpodcast.com. But so we did this live stream. In my defence, I felt the pressure because it was live. But weirdly enough, about an hour later, after we packed everything away, I started playing it again and got quite a few kills in. But anyway, that's a side note. But can I first of all say, cheers to Epic Games for hooking us up with the code. And dude, the fucking beta is awesome.
Yeah,
it is
totally.
I mean, it is a biased opinion because I love Gears, but I mean, there's still things that some of the weapons are slightly overpowered, but it's just one of those things. I mean, there's so many differences between the first and second Gears of War games. There's going to be major differences between the second and third. It's to be expected. The gameplay is way quicker than number 2.
I think that sort of ties into where they're going with the main campaign. It's become more of a desperate struggle, and you can feel that in the multiplayer. It's definitely more desperate.
Yeah. Very, very over the top, very gruesome, very violent, very unforgiving.
I know you're saying with some of the weapons, slight imbalances with them. They can obviously tweak the balances, but with those really powerful weapons, there is quite severe drawbacks, which I think does balance it out a bit.
Yeah, true. There's a lot of risk involved that you just mentioned about doing certain things now. It's like, oh, you want to use this weapon? Yeah, there's a bit of a risk to it. You can't reload it as quickly as other weapons. If you miss, you kind of fucked up, and if you fuck up, you die. Things like that. And even to the point where if you just pick up another weapon that's laying around, there's a risk to picking it up. It takes a fraction of a few seconds longer to pick something up than it did before.
And I felt the pressure, especially when doing executions and stuff. It's like, well, do I waste that moment to take this guy out?
Yeah, because you can. Some of the execution, the animations take a long time, and some people can eke them out even longer. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but pretty much it's a massive risk trying to show off in front of other people and rip people's arms off or whatever, or take a chainsaw to the throat, whichever way you want to do it. But those animations take a good 5 to 6 seconds or whatever, and that's a lot.
You feel it. You feel that is...
In about 2 seconds you can be killed, literally.
Precisely.
So... but the beta's a lot of fun. We got to experience the VIP side of it, which I think is going to be the full beta. We saw 3 game modes, which were Team Deathmatch, which is the main one, Capture the Leader and King of the Hill, and we got to see 4 of the maps: Thrashball, Checkout, Trenches, and Old Town.
Yeah, and they're really interesting maps. They're really gone overboard with like the layout and everything.
I mean, first of all, they look really, really nice. There's a lot of more greenery. In these, it's slightly
especially
more colourful.
on the Old Town map, which I think isn't in the current beta. And
no, well, that's something I was going to mention. At the moment, because it's an early beta for those playing Bulletstorm or whatever. Well, you bought Bulletstorm.
Some of the content has been stripped.
Some of the content has been stripped since we played it last week. There's only Team Deathmatch mode available, and there's only 2 of the maps, and that's Thrashball and Checkout. But obviously, they will add those in as the beta goes on. It's a 4-week beta. It goes until May 15th. And as of Monday, everyone who pre-ordered Gears 3 from selected retailers should get a code and should be playing it. But literally, on the weekend, we were playing it. There was about 2,000 people online playing it. On Monday morning, after 10 o'clock in the morning, it was ridiculous. There was like 16,000 people playing, and it soon jumped up to like 23,000 within a few hours.
So a lot of people have burdened themselves with Bulletstorm. Then.
Yep.
So need we say more?
No, I mean, it's at the end of the day, if you're into Gears of War, chances are you've pre-ordered it from where you need to get it from, or you were that hardcore enough that you went out and bought Bulletstorm or got a code from Twitter. Seriously, I mean, it is worth playing. There's lots of unlockable stuff that you can unlock in the retail version come September. Stuff that's worth playing the beta for. And generally, it's team deathmatch and it's these other game modes, and they're all pretty much the same. But it's Gears of War. It's done. It's done in a very graphic, fun, fast-paced way. So I love it. I mean, I'm going to keep playing it for as long as it's on, and then kind of report back about it. So I will probably be playing it every week, and probably will mention it for the next few weeks, but try not to go on about it so much. But we just recorded a video podcast that should be up probably tomorrow, I would have thought, or whenever, like over the weekend, and we show some pretty cool footage from the beta and stuff that's not currently in it that hopefully should be available as of Monday. But it's good. Good fun, lots of fun. So the 2 big games that come out this week, come out Friday today, are Mortal Kombat and Portal 2.
And surprising, really, that normally you get the pick of maybe 1 really, really good game to come out and a couple of all right games.
Yeah.
This week we've got 2
really amazing games, big time. Well, once again, these 2 games also featured in our video podcast, so please check that out when it comes out. I think that'll be out, tomorrow. But first of all, let's just start with Mortal Kombat. You and me both love Mortal Kombat. Back in the day on the Mega Drive / Genesis, depending on where you come from.
And SNES as well.
Yeah.
The whole 16-bit era.
True, absolutely. We were talking about doing our retro podcast sometime soon. We've kind of delayed it because we've done this video podcast this week. We might be doing it next week, who knows. But this game takes us back a little bit. It's a reboot of the franchise because obviously it's got extremely stale. A lot of the games that came out,
it's not had a lot of love.
Not had a lot of love, and you know what? It's a shame. This game is the reboot is to me just shows how valid a franchise it is even today, that it can still work. First of all, it contains the characters that we all know. If you've played the first 2 or 3 Mortal Kombats, you will know the characters. There's no surprises as far as that goes, unless you've got the PS3 version and Kratos, isn't it? Big deal. I'm just saying, no, but I mean that's a big deal for PS3 owners. There's some exclusive stuff there. It's great.
I actually think he probably ties into the universe quite well.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. He fits in pretty well. Yeah.
So,
but
if you got a PS3, cool story, bro.
If you if you loved the original Mortal Kombat, the first 3 or whatever, then you're pretty much gonna take to this like a duck to water because it is that good. I mean,
I think it's safe to say that Mortal Kombat kind of lost its way at 4, because that's when it kind of went 3D and started adding a lot of the really weird, obscure, what the hell shit.
Yeah.
But this really is kind of like reining it back. It's a homage
taking
to
it back
the first
to its
3
roots.
games.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, is definitely not a bad thing at all. It's done in such a really neat way that, you can't not love it. And story mode. Let's talk a little bit about that. We did talk about it on the video, but story modes in fighting games just don't work.
No,
they just don't work. There's a big history of it not working. And what Mortal Kombat's done, well, there's a big backstory that's kind of just there. It's never been really
it's
told.
all kind of like fluff and what Midway in the past sort of said about it.
Oh, this happened. This happened. Go
like,
fight some people.
It's well known that Liu Kang won the first tournament, and somehow everybody knew. I always thought it was funny how everybody knew this, but nobody actually saw it happen. But no, they've gone back and they've retold the story of the first 3 games and done it out cinematically and everything, and
it works. It works.
Does work.
It's not perfect. It is cheesy and hammy, but that's kind of Mortal Kombat, and that's kind of what we love about it in a way. And yeah, you know, it's actually done in. It is done in a very, very clever way, and you know, it doesn't really. You don't really see, and that's probably why. I mean, fighting game stories don't really work because they've never tried it like this before. And you know what? Kudos to the team because you know, I love it. Yeah,
it's quite clear that when Warner Brothers sort of took over and did the whole NetherRealm studio, they really wanted to like take it back to the glory days. And they've done that. You can really see is a lot of love gone into this, a lot of work, and it's paid off.
Absolutely.
So congrats to them.
Once again, the gameplay itself is a lot of fun. You know, if you know the characters really well, you'll recognise a lot of the special moves, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the signature moves are the same. Some of them have had sort of slight tweaks or whatever, but
absolutely. I mean, there's extra stuff in there that we've not seen before, like the X-ray moves, like once you fill your bar up and you're just going to pull them triggers and
that in itself has this whole sort of range of tactics. Like, do you save up and store up for that, or do you use some of your bar doing some of the other stuff and
breakers and stuff? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, they've added kind of more tactics to the gameplay. The gruesome fatalities are as gruesome as ever, probably more so if I'm honest, because obviously this generation there's a lot more realism involved.
And we have the rendering capabilities to really
pull off some fucked up shit. You know, the fatalities are definitely a big selling point in this game. They are definitely there. There's a
plus you can unlock new ones.
Yeah, you can unlock new ones. There's a practice mode, so you can practice them and some of the special moves as well, which is awesome. That's something they didn't have to include, but they have. And for a lot of people that can't really get their head around fatalities, and it's a lot to remember, they can practice them. And so, like, if they've got a favourite character, they can just go, oh, okay, this is the guy's special move. I can kind of, you know, until they're happy pulling them off, then they can take it into the game. The ladder challenge tower thing, that's there. You've got, I mean, there's so much content in this game, so much stuff to unlock. You know, it's well worth paying full price for this game. I reckon I'd do it any day. And you know, we've not even experimented with online, but there's tons of stuff there. And Jesus, you know, there's so much. I mean, we haven't had the game long because obviously it comes out today, but Jesus Christ, it's a lot of fun. And you know, it's really well put together. The package overall is pretty good. It looks decent. It's using the Unreal Engine. You know, and there's moments, especially in the story mode, where it looks a little bit clunky, and not quite as well put together as it could have been. But let's be honest, the actual fight sequences, when you're actually playing it, it looks amazing. It's a lot of fun.
And praise also for the voice acting for carrying it off, because some of it might be a little OTT, but it works. They've got some not famous talent, but the people they have got
do a good job and actually make it that little bit more believable.
Yeah, and you know, overall it is watchable.
Yeah, indeed,
far more watchable than the 90s movie was.
Absolutely,
but no, it's good. Like we said, it works. It ties in with the whole thing.
Well, I'm sure we'll be playing more Mortal Kombat. We're probably going to play some later today, actually. And I
have to say, this week, just because of the way the releases come down and the time frame and getting everything, we've probably played more games in the last 12, 18 hours than we have in like months.
Yeah, true.
Because I spent hours on Mortal Kombat last night and Portal 2 I was up.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Portal 2, because obviously we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat next week as well, I imagine, because we'll still be playing it. But Portal 2, the sequel to the obviously very successful Portal that was included in Valve's Orange Box.
Which was this hugely surprising game.
Yeah, no one knew about it. The game, like, the Orange Box dropped, and it was like, oh, have you just fucking played Portal? It's amazing. I mean, I've not even played through it all myself, but I've played bits of it, and I just loved it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the Orange Box was just kind of like padding for Portal.
Yeah, maybe not intentionally, but it seemed that way a little bit. Yeah, So
I mean, a lot of people, I think, got their own spots for like Team Fortress 2 because that had been a long time coming doing that, and a lot of people looking for it. And that in itself was also a fantastic game.
Yeah, true.
But Portal was just this little gem. It was something different.
Yeah.
And surprisingly deep for what it initially looks like on the surface.
Indeed. Well, cut to now. Portal 2's just come out, and it's its own solo retail disc release. What's your verdict on it?
Fucking awesome.
That was my sentiments exactly. Let's be honest. The gameplay itself is great because you kind of take that from the first Portal. You
it's the same.
You change up the puzzles a little bit and
mind bending physics.
But exactly, everything. And that's great. That's there. The challenges there. The puzzles there. It's a lot of fun to do. Still, it's not getting old or boring. But the stuff that keeps you hooked in there is the fun stuff, the characterization, because the dialogue. I mean, it's just such a witty, fun, well-written game, and you just don't get many games. Every joke in this game is funny.
Yeah,
there's nothing in this game you just don't go, that wasn't funny. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Everything is just so very, very cleverly written, and it just makes this game that much more special. I've not heard a bad word said about this game at all.
No.
And there's a reason for that, because it is that amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you really kind of like what sells it, I think, the most is the characters and the characterization. I
Absolutely.
mean, for a game where you don't meet another person, all you see is like faceless robots, and
Indeed.
they have voices and stuff, and you don't actually see anybody. There's so much personality in this
game.
game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think GLaDOS was voted one of the best video game villains of all time, and it's easy to see why. And she is back, and it's basically worth playing this just to listen to her. I could listen to her talk for hours. It's hilarious.
It's awesome. Well, there's also as well as just a single player campaign, there's a co-op mode. But I haven't actually played that yet. But you got around to
I played it locally, split screen. Again, it twists it because you need to work together.
Yeah. It's a separate thing from the solo and the co-op. They're two very different campaigns.
Yeah. It doesn't feel tacked on. I said this in the video. It feels very solid and very much its own thing and worthy of being there. It's not like a stupid little add-on. It is a proper game which requires you to think, and it's really well put together.
Yeah.
And you need to work together. There's no way you can do the puzzles without cooperating.
Yeah,
as the
key word.
Yeah, as the thing there. And no, it's so much fun. It has that same sort of cutesy personality to it, that kind of like the charm that the single player campaign has.
I think what we should do is we should team up online and play through the co-op, because I'm really excited to play through that. I want to go back and play through the first Portal and then play the solo on Portal 2, but I'm up for trying the co-op. I'm really interested in that. I think a lot of people were interested too. There's a lot of stuff on this disc that warrants the retail, the full price, and but well done to Valve for making such a innovative and fun game to play. That's a lot of puzzle style games won't keep you hooked for as long as this does.
No,
and it's because of all the nuances, all the other little things that are going on. Like I say, mostly the characters and mostly the dialogue, and that keeps you entertained between doing the puzzles and stuff. So
and
it's great.
It's just so
well paced.
Yeah, and it's so different to anything else out there. I think the only thing that's similar to this is Portal 1.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
It's a very, very, very much its own experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all we can say about it at the moment. I mean, we'll play a bit more of it, and we'll talk about it perhaps in a bit more in depth next week, maybe. But check out the video we just recorded. It should be up either Saturday, Sunday at the very latest. We'll see. But we're going to take a quick break now, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some news. But first, listen to our good old friends over at the Underground Geek Network.
Not old.
Well, we've known them for a little while. They're awesome. They do a show that's pretty much about video games, a bit like us, but they talk more in depth about things like comic books and anime and just anything geeky, really. And they're a bunch
as the name implies.
Indeed, and they're all good fellows and stuff.
Good fellows.
Good fellows. And so
you hear that, Eugene? You're good fellows.
Yep, there's your quote right there.
Yep.
So yeah, check out this promo from them for this week's show.
Hey guys, this is Aaron.
And Van.
And Dom.
And also Zeke the Geek.
UndergroundGeekNetwork.com. Zeke, you weren't even in the episode.
I know, I'm sorry about that. I was still a little sick when you did it.
Well, this week I covered Project Cafe and your video game releases.
Yay!
I talked about upcoming releases for both Marvel and DC Comics.
Yay!
And I talk about 20th Century Boys.
Boo!
So check all that out and more at UndergroundGeekNetwork.com.
Yay!
Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. Thanks to our friends over at the Underground Geek Network. You can check them out at undergroundgeeknetwork.com. And they're also on Twitter, UGeek Network, on Facebook. Check them out on Facebook, like them, friend them up, and all that stuff.
They do a lot on Facebook.
They do a lot more than we do on Facebook, and that's probably why they've got more followers on Facebook than we have.
In fact, they've probably inspired us to start doing more.
To get offer us as a little bit more, a little bit more involved. But no, check out their show. It is a brilliant show. It's out every Monday. It's a lot of fun. They cover so much stuff in the space of like an hour that, I mean, we get through a fair bit, but, they talk about a lot of stuff. And they go off on random tangents, a bit like what we do sometimes. But, it's always good and entertaining and fun. So please check those guys out.
Our friends across the pond.
Indeed. So if you opt for some of that every Monday, subscribe in iTunes, dude. Seriously.
And face it, anyone who can inspire me to get off my arse and do more work is worth a listen.
Yeah, that's saying some shit though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so check those guys out, undergroundgeeknetwork.com. Awesome people, and great show. Fantastic show. Good times. News.
News.
Sorry. Let's carry on with some news.
Yeah.
What's happened this week?
A fair bit, actually. We're going to try and sort of keep it short, because obviously we've done a lot of work this week, and I think
Well, first of all, can I say happy birthday for Tuesday?
Oh, cheers, dude.
I just wanted to mention on the show, it was your birthday on Tuesday and stuff. So.
Thanks for reminding me of that mould.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Okay, well, then let's get on with the news. That's me being old.
Okay. we just need to clear your throat.
No, I wasn't doing a shit either. I was
Okay.
That was me attempting old. Anyway, let's get on with it. I am a big fan of Team Ico.
Mm-hmm.
Ico game Shadow of the Colossus and everything, and they've got a new one coming out, Last Guardian. Obviously, they were bringing, I've mentioned it before, Ico and Shadow of the Colossus doing like a compilation thing.
So the HD remix. Remake.
And that was due out this spring, but that's now been pushed back. There's no set date, but it's been delayed. I can only assume it has something to do with obviously the recent tragedy in Japan.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
pushbacks
from there. So obviously keep working hard, guys. I'm looking forward to your game, but that's also affected Last Guardian, which was meant to come out over the holidays. That's been pushed back as well.
Okay.
So no set dates yet, but as soon as there are, I will mention them. And
indeed,
again, talk about how much I'm looking forward to the games.
Sweet.
Similar to that, Child of Eden.
Yes, the game from I forget the dude, but the guy who made Rez,
which is an awesome game.
Ridiculous. That came on the Dreamcast and then later on Xbox Live. Child of Eden. It's basically obviously the 360 versions you're able to use Kinect. The PlayStation version is a Move type dealio.
Yeah, but that has now been pushed back to September. The Kinect version is still out on June 14th.
Yeah, on schedule, which is when both versions were supposed to come out. But there's been a delay on the PS3 version.
Yeah.
And there's been no comment yet as to why.
No.
So it's very strange. Once again, another delay, but who knows?
It's kind of unfortunate. It's kind of like the worst thing that you want to happen is... Because whenever a game has like a split release, there's obviously favour on whichever system it comes out first.
Indeed.
I mean, that's the whole sort of timed exclusives and everything.
Well,
so
there's no word to say that that's what's happened. It's actually a timed exclusive at all, but... No. I mean, whenever I've seen footage of Child of Eden being demoed, it's always been on Kinect. I've not seen anyone try and demo it with me. Maybe there's footage of that out there. Who knows? But maybe they are favouring 360 more. Who knows? But it's a very significant gap. What did you say it was June for? 360? June to September. That's a big gap. So it's very strange. But there's no comments so far yet. We checked before we recorded, but there's been no statement made as to why.
No,
so it's been published by Ubisoft as well. So
it
seems a bit strange. They're more kind of they've been bringing out a lot of stuff for Kinect. They
Yeah.
are very. They don't seem to favour a system too much, not too often, not that I can remember.
No, they've always sort of been impartial.
Mm.
I mean, Ubisoft, obviously, the Assassin's Creed sort of favours PS3 more, but you know, overall, as a company, they seem to be fairly unbiased and all that. So
Interesting.
it's a shame this has happened, but
Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to pick up Child of Eden, but then again, I've got 360 and I've got Kinect, so you know.
whereas I've got the PlayStation, I've got Move. I'm probably going to wait until September. I'm going to have to.
Yeah,
I've got no
you've
choice.
got no choice.
Got no
That's what it
choice.
seems, yeah.
Anyway, Crysis 2, big game, came out recently.
Yeah,
Loved
very
it,
cool game.
amazing looking game. Crytek have said that the Cryengine 3 development kit is coming out in the summer.
Yeah, they're bringing out an SDK very much like what Epic Games have done with their Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
It's going to be free.
Yeah.
People can use it to build games with.
Or mod existing games.
Make new maps and custom content for Crysis 2.
Which is awesome.
It's great, and it's like I said, it's free. I think it's probably because there's so many engines out there at the moment that are doing good things. Like, you know, high quality engines. You've got the Unreal Engine, you've got Cryengine 3, you've got the Frostbite engine, the new Frostbite engine that's coming out. Epic have proved that it kind of pays to put your stuff out there for free. Here's the SDK, go build something, you know.
Yeah. And user created content at the moment is huge. A
big deal,
games are
yeah.
pushing
I
for
think
that. And
Little Big Planet probably is
Yeah.
one of those few things that really pushed that whole user created content.
It's just shown sort of how creative the general population,
Absolutely.
the general gaming population
Totally
can be.
agree.
And if developers can draw on that and use that, then they will.
Absolutely. So
I mean, even
it's good
like-
news, great news.
Infamous 2 that's coming out, that's got a user-generated thing on it. So, yeah, this is really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. Like I say, Epic Games have been doing their own SDK for a while now, and you know, why the hell shouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? Crytek, give away their engine, their tools for free, and you know, let people use them and build great stuff. Because I don't think enough stuff's made with their engine. Because their engine is very, very underrated.
Yeah, I know. It's a gorgeous engine. You can make some beautiful games. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes out of this.
I mean, like we said, that game Hawken that we're talking about, that was made with the Unreal Development Kit. So we might start to see actual games that come out using the Cryengine 3, and it's a scalable engine. It can run on PC, PS3, and 360 and stuff. So,
and hopefully, if enough good stuff comes out of it, more developers will see it for the amazing piece of kit that it is, and they'll start using it as well.
Absolutely.
I would love to see more Cryengine games.
Definitely, absolutely, I agree. I mean, Crysis 2 looks amazing, and it's so much fun. But yeah, great news. Great news.
Not some great news.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't really affect us, but Sony PSP Go. I think we've stated our
Has it gone?
opinion on this. It went.
It's gone. It's PSP went.
Yeah. Sony Japan have now officially said that they're not going to produce it anymore. All stock for it is now limited to what is out already.
Right.
They're not producing anything. They're not going to make any more games. They're not going to do any of that. Sony America has said they're going to carry on production.
Right.
But obviously, how long is that going to last without the input from Japan? I mean, the PSP's main sort of base has been games and stuff from Japan over there.
True. I mean, let's not forget we've got the next generation portable.
Well,
that's pretty much the reason behind this.
Yeah,
let's be
the
honest.
reason they've cancelled this now to focus on the NGP. So
it's their last attempt at a successful handheld console. Because let's be fair, the PSP, Sony for all their efforts, have never really made it that much of a success. And you know, it sold well, so it's sold enough for them to keep putting out new models and stuff, but not well enough. And the NGP needs as much focus as they possibly can if they're going to make it successful. So.
Yeah, especially now that 3DS is out as well, so that they need to really
knuckle down.
That's the one. So there was a document leaked about the upcoming Kinect Star Wars game.
Ah, yes, this is interesting because when Kinect was announced as Kinect last E3, there was a kind of a sort of demo video.
Yeah.
It was a video for a Star Wars game, and that kind of got you a little bit like, ooh, you know, let's see what you can do with this.
Yeah, it looked like a sort of on-rails lightsaber.
I mean, we've heard nothing about this since.
No.
We didn't hear really much about it in the first place. It was kind of just, here's a video.
We heard that it was coming, so we didn't expect to hear much. We knew it wasn't going to be a launch title, so we expected for a reasonable amount of time to pass before we heard anything concrete and solid about it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I think we're going to see more on it at E3 if this document is anything to go by. But no, some of the content of the game has been released. It's not just lightsaber battles. There's going to be pod racing, and Rancor stomping.
Well, I like the latter.
Rancor stomping.
Yeah, the pod racing, me not so much, but yeah.
Well, it's going to be set in the Clone Wars era.
So the prequel / Clone Wars era, sort of like So the kind of
between
the shit Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, like I said that when Lego Star Wars 3 came out. I think the Clone Wars TV series has actually gained more popularity over the last couple of seasons now. I mean, obviously, I will always be a child of the original trilogy. That will always be my Star Wars, but there have been some extended universe things as well. I mean, look at the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic by Bio, arguably the best Star Wars game ever. But, we'll see how this goes. We know it's...
This is not going to be the best Star Wars game ever, but it might be okay. Probably it could be alright. I mean, it's... Like I said, don't know much about it. Hoping there's an appearance at E3, because if it ain't, then... this is one of those projects that it's a big deal, in a way, that...
Yeah. I have a feeling, because... Like I think we said last week, it's all sort of been fairly quiet on the Kinect front. I mean, it's been doing really, really well, so they've not needed to...
I mean, there's been more games come out for it in the last month or so than there has been for a while, but
I have a feeling...
E3 is when we're going to hear some good stuff.
I can feel it in my water that something's brewing. There's going to be... It's kind of like a fairly big sort of Kinect showing at E3.
Yeah.
I just feel it. That's my prediction.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm well... Microsoft kick everything off with their media briefing. First of all, I guarantee it will be fairly heavily Kinect focused and Gears of War focused and whatever good stuff's coming out. This year and that. But I think you're probably right. A lot of really cool Kinect stuff to show off. But good.
We'll be talking more about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
At E3.
Absolutely.
Well, we won't be at E3, but while E3 is on,
I got excited then.
I know.
Got my hopes up.
I'm sorry.
Damn you.
Earlier on in the month, PlayStation Network went down. It was attacked by a hacker group known as Anonymous.
Damn them. And their
them.
anonymity.
Yeah. But it got sorted out. But recently, I think as we were recording this and as the show's going out, it was last night or the night before.
It was like yesterday. Sometime I read about it.
It went down again.
It went down everywhere, worldwide.
Yeah, it brings up every time you go onto your PlayStation, it comes up that there's an error signing in and an error code and everything.
Yeah.
Sony said they are investigating. There's no links to it being hacked yet. It could be another attack. We don't know, but they are investigating the cause. But they have said it could be a day or two, maybe even 3 days before it's back up and running.
It's already been over a day now, so
yeah.
I mean, it does seem strange how Sony don't know. They could have just gone, we're into maintenance. Sorry, last minute maintenance. We couldn't avoid it. Sorry, be down for a little while, and then kind of get to the bottom of it. But in a way, it's kind of funny they're going, we don't know what's going on.
Well, I would have thought that, so the way things run now, if they'd said, we're running maintenance for anything more than a couple of hours, there would have been public outcry. Whereas if they say it's out of our hands, then there's no comeback from that. It's
that's true, that's true.
You just work and get it back.
Indeed.
So
well, I mean that's true. That's a good point.
I made a good point.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I'm writing that down.
Oh yeah. We got it recorded. It's fine. You got documentation
awesome.
of it. It does seem strange. It could well be another attack on them, but you know what? They'll get it sorted, and
Which kind of blows really, because I got Little Big Planet 2 for my birthday, and I kind of want to play it, but I kind of want to be linked up to the network to play it, so I'm going to have to leave that a couple more days.
Fair dues. I'm sure it won't take long. Anyways. Well, hopefully by the time people get around to listening to this is old news.
Yeah.
But next story.
Mario 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, I think. Because the 3DS, I think, was the first console for like 10 years or whatever to launch without a Mario game.
Yeah.
And it's coming, but apparently it is going to be making an appearance at E3, so we'll be able to see a lot more about it and get a few more opinions on it.
Awesome. Well, I mean, E3's coming up, and there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about. A lot of games. I mean, I've been looking back at some of the stuff that was kind of announced and trailers and stuff that were, put out last year, and stuff we've forgotten about. I mean, the one thing I'm probably the most excited... I mean, obviously, I'm hoping there's some really cool Bioshock Infinite stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing there will be, because there's been a bit of, there's been some good stuff going on lately. It's like PAX and stuff. But XCOM.
Yeah. What happened to that?
Not really heard nothing since. It looked great. I was really geared up for playing that. So, that's one thing I think I'm kind of the most interested to kind of hear about is that one game, and I'm guessing we'll get some kind of Metal Gear Solid, was it Metal Gear Rising?
Yeah.
Solid Rising, whatever it was called. That, get to kind of see some more of that. That's kind of looks interesting. I've not been into it, but, that's something I may pick up.
Go on. Guess what I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff about?
Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
There's been some screenshots.
I know,
I know.
But I'm kind of done making stories up about screenshots being released. It looks awesome, but I'm hoping to see more footage.
I'm pretty sure. That's what I mean. E3 is the time of year when we're so busy talking about. I mean, there's so much stuff to do. We're hoping to do 3 consecutive episodes, just nightly episodes while E3's on. Just kind of half hour to 45-minute episodes, and with recapping the day's events, what stuff's come out, and what we've been
giving a sort of insight into my personal life. I'm booking the time off work so I can spend all day at the
computer. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, we when you look back at last year when we first started doing the show, I think episode 2 and 3, we did a pre-E3 special where we talked about the rumours and predictions and stuff, and that was like an hour and a half. Yeah, and then we did like a 2-hour special, like talking about everything that happened. So I think we can kind of break it down to mini bite-sized episodes. And what I want to do is just do an episode a night and just kind of get it so that we talk about the day's events, and then at the end of it, the following week's show, whatever, is just a roundup of everything.
Which would probably be quite a big show.
Yeah, it would just still be a big show, just kind of recapping everything and just talking about exactly what happened. But yeah, and then maybe do a video podcast and tie that in with that somehow. That'd be pretty cool. So that's all good stuff to look forward to in the next few months, and then we'll be celebrating our birthday and doing something for that. I don't know yet. We're just gonna working out that, but yeah, awesome.
There will be hats
and cake.
So, and it is not a lie.
Okay, well, gonna have another break, it seems, and when we come back, we'll be talking about this week's releases and next week's. Hello and welcome back to the Games4all podcast. What's coming out this week?
Portal 2, Mortal Kombat, and Conduit 2.
Sweet. We talked a little bit earlier about Mortal Kombat and Portal 2, and we've recorded a video podcast this morning before we sat down to do this, where we talk a little bit in depth about Gears 3 beta and Mortal Kombat and Portal 2, and so we should...
Portal Kombat. As the day has been dubbed.
Indeed. And so we're going to show off some cool footage of those games and talk a little bit about them. So if you want to hear even more about that stuff, go there and download and stuff our website and whatnot. Conduit 2. This is something that was actually scheduled to come out way earlier this year, I do believe.
I think so.
Yeah, because I think we mentioned it before, and it's sort of... It's for the Wii.
Yeah, it's kind of a Wii hardcore title. It's an actual game as opposed to whatever.
Yeah, made by Sega, I do believe.
Yeah.
So published at least by Sega. Awesome.
It's one of the nicer looking games on the Wii.
I think when a few E3s back when they showed off the Conduit 1, people were saying there's a lot of buzz around it saying how amazing it looked for a Wii game. But yeah, like I think you mentioned already, it didn't do that great.
Didn't kind of live up to it.
But enough to spawn a sequel, obviously. And hopefully that'll do quite well, I mean, there's not a lot out for the Wii at the moment. It's very... No. The Wii releases are very, very thin on the ground.
And if the rumours of the upcoming Wii 2 are to be believed...
Well, we'll find out coming E3. I'm sure they'll announce it, but, who knows. What's coming out next week?
Darkspawn on PC. That's pretty much it.
That's done there. Done. And the show's over.
Yeah.
Darkspawn, what the fuck's that?
It's sort of a spin-off sequel type thing to Spore, I think.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not really... Obviously, I was a big fan of Spore, and then my PC died, and I got a new PC that couldn't quite run it, so I kind of went off. I should probably pay more attention to PC games, even though I can't play them. So, yeah, that's coming out next week. I will be looking into it and seeing what it is, and obviously there'll be like reviews up and stuff, and I'll be reading about that and I'll hopefully talk about it more next week.
See, it's the weird thing, because like we mentioned this sort of thing before, but like you get waves of the games coming out of releases and stuff. Some weeks we get like good stuff like Mortal Kombat and Portal 2 and all sorts of shit like that, and you just like that's a really good week. But next week there's nothing really coming out. So, and hopefully the week after that there'll be something to talk about. But I mean, we're going to have a kind of a gap, I think, for maybe 3 or 4 weeks while there's not much coming out, and then we'll get a few more releases. And then, you know, who knows? I mean, there'll be plenty of stuff to talk about at the end of the year, but
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're going to have to make some new entertainment.
Indeed.
Maybe we can get bums to fight on air.
Don't bring hobos into this. So yeah, I mean, maybe we could bring the topic back. I don't know. Maybe that's something we could do. We haven't done that for a while, but hey. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. This show seems a little bit shorter than it did before last week. It's not a bad thing. No. Thanks for listening. Please check out our website if you haven't already, www.games4allpodcast.com. We have an email address. If you want to contact us, please contact us about anything. Just to say hi, or just say how much you love the show, or how much you hate it, whatever. We don't care. podcast@games4allpodcast.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/games4all.
Indeed.
I actually pronounced it right this time because I think I fumbled it on the video.
Oh, well. I think you did too. But anyway, facebook.com/games4allpodcast. Please check us out. Please subscribe to us on iTunes. Please feel free to leave us a review. That would be great. So that'd be awesome. Thanks for listening. Please check out our good friends over at the Underground Geek Network, and their website, it happens to be undergroundgeeknetwork.com. And no, I'm not even going to go there. So, and yeah, they're on Twitter, UGeek Network, and Facebook. Check them out. Awesome show, awesome guys.
All right.
And gal.
Guys and gal.
Yeah, guys and gal.
See, they're one up on us there.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I suppose
we have a female member of staff here at Games4all.
Yes.
But
she's not allowed to talk. She just makes the tea.
No,
I can't say that.
That's really, really bad.
Because she is my girlfriend, and she will kick my ass.
If Michelle, if you listen to this, you have full.
I love you.
You have full permission to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
She knows martial arts too.
Yeah.
So I'd be worried.
No, I. Yeah.
We have a female production assistant basically, and she helps us out quite a bit, and various and recordings and stuff. So.
Yeah,
she's great.
We
have really tried to get her on the show actually, and she's a little bit unsure about it. So we're just kind of we'll try our best. But hey, we're not copying the guys over at EGN, honest.
No,
but
if anything, we had to go first.
What's this? Why? What?
A little bit of competitiveness is good.
Is it okay.
Getting them to step up?
We need to set that. We should set them a challenge. Next week we'll think about it. It's a bit too short notice at the moment, but we'll set you a challenge next week.
Watch out, Eugene. A challenge is forthcoming.
Be prepared. Okay, thanks very much for listening, and we're out of here. Have a good weekend. For more episodes of the Games4all podcast, please check out our website, www.games4allpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at www.twitter.com/Games4all. And you can like us on Facebook, just search for Games4all podcast. Games4all is brought to you by iPage. For more affordable and greener web hosting, check out ipage.com. Page.com. 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 Page.com, 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 page.com,